Welcome, sports fans. PickDawgz.com, the premier YouTube channel for all things sports gambling. And, of course, PickDawgz.com, the website, all things sports handicapping, the greatest sports handicapping site on the internet. I'm your host, Mike Davis. I have some free selections coming up for you today, and it involves college football. And you may say, Mike, it's too early for college football. It's never, ever too early for college football, especially when you grow up in the South. It's our birthright. We love college football. The one thing we know for sure is the game of football when you grow up in the South. So I got a special wins total prop for you today, as well as I'm at this same team. I'm going to pick to win it all with some very good odds. So let me jump right into it. The LSU Tigers win total is set at 9.5, plus 110 to the over. Grab it and grab it right now. Take the over. You can grab that right now at DraftKings as they came out with that total today, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It's like Christmas in May, baby. I love college football. I love this play. LSU is absolutely loaded on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to score a ton of points. Both quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier, are back. Many thought Nussmeier may transfer because he's a potential top NFL draft pick. I truly believe that. I think Daniels has some potential to be there as well. I think both of them could be top SEC quarterbacks. I think both of them will play a good bit this year under Brian Kelly. What he did last year in his first year at LSU was nothing short of remarkable. I think this team is much better this year. The only concern will be some depth issues, and we'll jump into that. But again, both quarterbacks are back. Star receiver Malik Neighbors and other receivers are back. They got some transfers in on the offensive line, on defense as well. Tight end Mason Taylor. Everything last year. The son of Jason Taylor was a freshman last year, was just remarkable. He's back. So we're talking about an offense that's going to be explosive and score a lot of points under Kelly's tutelage. Defensively, you may ask. Well, all they have returning is the best defensive player in the SEC, in my opinion, and Harold Perkins. You can play him anywhere. They put him at outside linebacker last year just to get him on the field. I've heard talks of them moving him inside this year, alongside Omar Spates, who they've transferred in from Oregon State. Simply put, Perkins can play anywhere, and he's the most athletic defensive player in the SEC this year. And that's saying a lot. I mean, that really is. And his competition in that is Mason Smith. He's potentially the best defensive player in the SEC. Coming off an injury, how will he respond? 300-pounder, he can do it all. This defense is solid. Mekhi Wingo, defensive tackle, All-American last year. The front seven is going to be really good. How much depth do they have? That could be a concern moving forward. A couple of injuries could hurt this team. But overall, as far as talent goes, especially in that front seven, they have it. Now, you look at the secondary, not going to be as experienced as they were last year. However, more talent. They have more talent this year. Let's see, they got Deuce Chestnut coming in from Syracuse. He was nothing more than a freshman All-American last year. Denver Harris transfers in from Texas A&M. He's a potential first-round pick in a couple of years. Both of these guys have talent. They have a couple of other corners and secondary guys coming in via the transfer portal, but these are the two who I believe could really make an impact. They need an edge rusher. They need a big-time edge rusher. If they move Perkins on the inside, he can rush the edge. He can do anything. But you got Ovi Ogofu. He's a transfer in from Texas. I look for him to start at that edge. They got Braden Swinson behind him, who transferred in from Oregon. And they also have five-star freshman Deshaun Womack. Can he come on the scene and make a huge splash, much like Harold Perkins did last year? Possibly. So LSU has the talent. The only issue I have with them is their depth. That secondary, especially that safety position, not very deep. That concerns me a little bit. Having said that, I will pound this over 9.5. If you look at their schedule, we'll go right down it. They're a 2-point favorite against Florida State right now. That'll be played on a neutral field. We know that. We know what happened last year as Florida State won that ball game somehow, some way. Revenge for LSU this year. I think they get the W. They play Grambling State the next week at Mississippi State. I don't see that being a problem. They'll be favored there. Arkansas comes to LSU. No problem there. LSU at Ole Miss could be an old-fashioned shootout with some defensive playmakers making the difference in that game. I give the check to LSU. LSU at Missouri, no problems there. Auburn at LSU, always a rivalry game. But LSU is set in stone. They're ready, and this is at home. I like LSU in that one. Army at LSU, no problems there. LSU at Alabama. Can Alabama get some revenge there? We'll see how that one plays out. So that's one game where they may not be a favorite. Florida at LSU, always a good rivalry game, but I'll take LSU at home in that one. Georgia State at LSU, no problems there. And Texas A&M is just in shambles right now, and they finish up at LSU. So that's 12 games. We've got 10 wins at least there. Maybe 11, maybe even 12-0. This team is that talented. Can they win the SEC? Can they win the national championship? National championship, 16-1. Put some money down on it right now. That's going to drop. That's going to come down. You're probably going to see it come down to 12 or 10-1. This is a top 10 team. They'll end up being a top 5 team. This team is really loaded. They have great coaching, and they've done well in the transfer portal. Believe it or not, people want to play for Brian Kelly, even with his fake accent down there. He's done a good job bringing in people in the transfer portal, recruiting, and keeping his guys that he wanted to keep. LSU is a team to watch out for this year. Play them over the total of 9.5 plus 110 odds, and make sure you get down some 16-1 to win the national championship. That's what I have for you, folks. Give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And everybody have a great and profitable football season, baby.